Once upon a time, in a small coastal village, lived a curious child named Finn. Every evening, he would sit by the shore, gazing at the endless ocean, dreaming about the world beneath the waves. The sky would blush with soft pinks and purples, and the stars would begin their nightly dance, twinkling like tiny lanterns over the water. One magical night, as the moon cast a silver glow over the sea, a sudden splash caught Finn's attention. Out of the water leapt a shimmering dolphin with a playful twinkle in its eye, droplets scattering like liquid diamonds. "Hello there," the dolphin chirped. "I'm Lyora. Want to go on an adventure?" Finn's eyes widened. "You can talk?" "Of course," giggled Lyra. "The ocean is full of wonders. Hold on tight." Before Finn could even ask how, a soft, glowing bubble formed around him, allowing him to breathe underwater. The bubble shimmered with a rainbow sheen, humming softly like a seashell's whisper. Leora gently nudged the bubble, and off they went, diving into the sparkling sea. The underwater world was a rainbow of colors. Coral reefs stretched out like magical forests, their branches swaying with the currents. Some corals glowed faintly, casting a soft golden light that seemed to pulse in time with the ocean's heartbeat. Schools of fish shimmered like living jewels, darting to and fro, leaving trails of sparkling bubbles behind them. Suddenly, a bright yellow fish with pouty lips swam up to them. "Who's this, Lyora?" it asked, eyeing Finn curiously. "This is Finn, my new friend," said Lyora proudly. "Nice to meet you." "I'm Bubbles," said the fish, blowing tiny bubbles that popped like soft giggles. As they swam further, they met a grumpy-looking crab named Claudius, who was busy stacking shiny pebbles into a tiny tower. Each pebble seemed to glow from within, like tiny stars captured from the night sky. "Don't touch my collection," he warned, though a small smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Finn laughed. "I won't. Promise." They floated past glowing jellyfish that pulsed like soft lanterns, their tendrils drifting like delicate ribbons, and danced around a school of giggling clownfish, each telling silly jokes that made Finn and Lyora laugh until their sides ached. Next, they encountered a family of rainbow-colored squids who twirled and spiraled, painting glowing patterns in the water like liquid fireworks. Each burst of color shimmered and faded, creating a dazzling underwater light show. A shy manta ray named Marlowe glided by, his wide wings moving like elegant silk. "Hello, Lyora," he murmured softly. "If you need a ride through the currents, just ask." His back sparkled with bioluminescent freckles that flickered like a starry sky. Then, a small band of musical shrimp, known as the Snappy Quartet, played a jazzy tune by snapping their claws in perfect harmony. Finn clapped along, amazed at their rhythmic beats. They drifted into a secret garden of sea anemones, their soft tendrils glowing like tiny fairy lights. Playful starfish, each a different color of the rainbow, clung to the rocks and slowly spun in graceful underwater dances. A tiny pufferfish named Pippa floated by, puffing up into a perfect ball every time someone surprised her. "I can't help it," she squeaked, deflating with a soft whizzing sound that made everyone chuckle. Just then, they heard the soft singing of a pod of whales in the distance. The deep, melodic songs echoed through the water, vibrating like a gentle lullaby. They're singing the songs of the old ocean, Lyora explained. Every note tells a story. Then, a gentle voice echoed through the reef. It belonged to a wise old sea turtle named Talia. Ah, Lyora, I see you've brought a new friend. Welcome, young Finn. The ocean sings with stories for those who listen. Finn was enchanted. I want to hear them all. Talia chuckled. One at a time, dear child. Tonight, listen to the song of the sea. It whispers secrets of ancient coral and hidden caves. Lyora led Finn through a glowing kelp forest where tiny seahorses played hide and seek, their tails curling and uncurling like delicate spirals. They discovered a hidden cove where pearls gleamed like stars and a sleeping octopus softly snored, its tentacles wrapped around a chest of forgotten treasures. A faint, magical glow surrounded the chest, and tiny luminescent shrimp floated around like twinkling fireflies. They even stumbled upon an underwater playground where baby dolphins raced through hoops of seaweed and slid down smooth rock slides, their joyful squeaks echoing through the water. As the night drew to a close, Lyora gently guided Finn back toward the shore. It's time to go home now, she said softly. Finn's heart was full of wonder. Will I see you again? Lyora twirled in the water, creating a spiral of glowing bubbles. Whenever you dream of the ocean, I'll be there. The glowing bubble gently popped as Finn found himself back on the sandy beach. The waves whispered a soft lullaby, and the moon watched over him like a silver guardian, its light painting the water with a trail of shimmering stars. Finn closed his eyes, his mind swimming with the magic of the ocean and the promise of more adventures to come. And as he drifted off to sleep, somewhere beneath the waves, Lyora leapt joyfully into the moonlight. In a quiet village nestled by a crystal blue lagoon, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila. Every night, she would sit at the edge of the water, her toes dipping into the cool sea, watching the moon's reflection ripple across the surface. She often dreamed of what lay beyond the waves, of hidden worlds and secret creatures. One calm evening, as the sky turned a deep indigo and stars blinked awake, Lila noticed a soft, glowing trail moving through the water. Out of the gentle waves emerged a graceful sea turtle with a shell that sparkled like 1,000 tiny constellations. "Hello," the turtle greeted in a voice as soft as the wind. "I am Taro. Would you like to discover the magic of the midnight ocean?" Lila's heart fluttered with excitement. "Yes, please." With a flick of his fin, Taro conjured a shimmering bubble around Lila, allowing her to breathe and speak underwater. The bubble gleamed with soft hues of violet and silver, and a faint musical hum filled the air. Together, they descended into the enchanted sea. Beneath the surface, the lagoon transformed into a glowing kingdom. Coral castles shimmered with golden light, and the water seemed to dance with soft sparkles. Lila's eyes widened as she spotted a parade of glowing jellyfish, their translucent bodies twinkling like floating lanterns. Suddenly, a school of playful, rainbow-colored fish swirled around Lila and Taro. "Who's this?" chirped a tiny, bright blue fish with a mischievous smile. "This is Lila," said Taro warmly. "She's exploring our magical world tonight." "I'm Ripple. Welcome," said the blue fish, darting in happy loops. As they ventured further, they met a wise old squid named Quibs, who drew sparkling patterns in the water with his glowing ink. "Every design tells a story," Quips explained, forming a glowing spiral that slowly drifted away like a shooting star. A giggling band of starfish spun in slow pirouettes along the reef, their bright arms flickering in rhythm like tiny fireworks. "Dance with us," they chimed, and Lila twirled alongside them, her bubble swirling with shimmering bubbles of its own. Then, a pod of singing dolphins passed by, their songs resonating through the water like a magical symphony. "They're singing the song of the silver moon," whispered Taro. "A legend about an ancient pearl hidden deep in a secret cave." Intrigued, Lila and Taro followed the dolphin's melody to a hidden cove, where they discovered a glowing pearl resting atop a bed of sparkling sand. The pearl glowed softly, casting a silver light all around. "Legend says this pearl holds the dreams of the ocean," Taro said softly. "Only those who listen closely can hear its wishes." As Lila leaned in, a cloud of tiny glowing plankton swirled around her, their light forming delicate, ever-shifting patterns in the water. A family of bioluminescent seahorses twirled nearby, their glowing tails leaving trails of golden light as they danced in slow motion. Further into the cove, Lila noticed a hidden garden of glowing sea anemones, their soft tendrils pulsing with soft pink and blue light. Luminescent crabs scuttled along the ocean floor, their shells glittering like polished gems. They followed a narrow, glowing pathway lined with shimmering shells, which led them to an ancient underwater archway covered in glowing moss. "This is the Gate of Echoes," Taro whispered. "It's said that when you pass through, you can hear the whispers of the ocean's past." Lila stepped through, and a soft chorus of voices, gentle, dreamy, and distant, filled her ears. It was as if the sea itself was sharing its secrets, telling stories of long-forgotten reefs and ancient hidden treasures. As the night grew deeper, Taro gently led Lila back to the surface. "It's time for you to return," he said kindly. Lila's heart swelled with wonder. "Will I see you again?" Taro's shell shimmered one last time. "Whenever you gaze at the moonlit sea, I'll be nearby." The bubble around Lila softly burst as she found herself back on the lagoon's shore. The waves murmured a tender melody, and the moon shone brighter than ever, casting silver beams across the gentle water. As Lila closed her eyes, her dreams were filled with glowing corals, singing dolphins, dancing seahorses, and the soft whisper of an ancient pearl. And somewhere beneath the waves, Taro glided gracefully into the night. Ocean Dream Adventure Story. Once in a small seaside village, where the ocean hummed lullabies and the sky kissed the water with stars, lived a curious boy named Finn. Each night he would sit by the shore, his toes sinking into the cool sand as the waves whispered secrets only the moon could hear. He often dreamed about what lay beneath the waves, a hidden kingdom of wonder and magic. One dreamy evening, as the sky melted into shades of lavender and silver, Finn noticed a soft, glowing trail weaving through the waves. Out from the shimmering water emerged a delicate, iridescent sea creature, a glowing jellyfish with tendrils like twinkling ribbons. "Hello there," the jellyfish said, its voice like a soft chime. "I'm Lumina. Would you like to explore the secret wonders of the midnight ocean?" Finn's heart leapt. "I would love to." With a gentle pulse, Lumina conjured a sparkling bubble around Finn, making him weightless and allowing him to breathe underwater. The bubble gleamed with swirling colors, blues, purples, and golds, and gave off a faint musical hum like distant wind chimes. As they drifted beneath the surface, a whole new world unfurled before Finn's eyes. The ocean floor glowed softly with bioluminescent coral gardens, each branch flickering like a tiny star. Lumina guided him past glowing seaweed that swayed in an elegant dance, casting rippling patterns of light across the sand. Suddenly, a playful school of rainbow fish darted around them, their scales flashing like miniature rainbows. "Who's this?" chirped a small, bright green fish named Glimmer. "This is Finn," Lumina replied. "He's here to discover the magic of the deep." "Welcome, Finn. Race you to the coral arches," giggled Glimmer, swirling around him in a flash of color. Deeper into the ocean, they met a wise octopus named Orin, whose skin shimmered with ever-changing patterns. Orin drew glowing constellations in the water with a gentle flick of his tentacles, forming stories in the currents. Each pattern tells the tale of an ancient creature or a forgotten reef, Orin explained, his voice like a soft echo. Finn watched in awe as a trail of twinkling starfish spiraled through the water, their tiny arms glowing like soft fireflies. They twirled and spun, creating a sparkling ribbon of light. Then, a gentle giant emerged, a glowing manta ray named Marlowe. His wide wings undulated gracefully, leaving a silver trail in his wake. "Would you like a ride through the moonlit currents?" Marlowe asked. Finn climbed onto Marlowe's back, his bubbles shimmering as they glided through the water. The currents glowed with soft blue light, and tiny glowing plankton swirled around them like floating stars. Lumina led Finn to a hidden cove, where glowing pearls rested within clamshells of gold and violet. "These are dreamers' pearls," Lumina whispered. "They capture the dreams of the ocean, each one holding a wish from a sea creature." As Finn leaned closer, a soft humming sound rose from the pearls, a dreamy, magical melody. It was as though the ocean itself was singing lullabies of forgotten treasures and ancient adventures. Further along, they discovered a secret garden of bioluminescent sea anemones. Their tendrils pulsed with gentle colors, pink, blue, and green, like tiny underwater lanterns. Delicate seahorses, glowing with golden light, danced slowly around the anemones, curling and uncurling their tails in graceful spirals. Finn gasped when he noticed a mysterious underwater archway covered in shimmering moss. "What's that?" he asked. "The Gateway of Echoes," Lumina said softly. "If you pass through it, you can hear the whispers of the sea. Voices from long ago." Finn hesitated for a moment, then drifted through the archway. A gentle, echoing chorus surrounded him. Soft, ancient voices sharing secrets of lost reefs, hidden caves, and dreams buried beneath the sand. Beyond the Gateway of Echoes, they entered the glimmering glade, an underwater meadow where glowing seagrass waved like a magical forest. Tiny glowing shrimp danced between the blades, creating a field of twinkling lights. Finn giggled as a round, luminous pufferfish named Pippa puffed up into a glowing orb and floated alongside him. "Don't be scared. I only puff up when I'm excited," Pippa said with a laugh. As they moved further, a spiral of glowing bubbles floated up from a hidden grotto. "That's the bubble spiral," Lumina explained. "It's said that each bubble carries a secret wish from a creature of the deep." Finn reached out and touched a bubble, and a soft whisper echoed in his ear. a dolphin's wish for a friend. Another bubble passed by, holding the quiet dream of a small crab longing for a brighter shell. The journey led them to the heart of the ocean, a magnificent underwater chamber where the walls shimmered with glowing gems and crystals. At the center, a grand ancient whale named Solara floated with a calm and regal presence. Her body gleamed with constellations of light, each glowing spot a reflection of the night sky above. "Welcome, Finn." Solara spoke in a voice as deep and warm as the sea itself. "The ocean's heart beats with magic, and tonight you are part of its song." The chamber filled with a soft, melodic hum as every creature Finn had met, Lumina, Glimmer, Orin, Marlowe, Pippa, and more, gathered around. The glowing pearls, the dancing seahorses, and the star-like plankton all shimmered in harmony. As the night grew older, Lumina gently guided Finn back toward the surface. "It's time to go home now," she said kindly. Finn's heart was full of wonder. "Will I ever see you again?" Lumina twirled in the water, casting a spiral of glowing bubbles. "Whenever you dream of the ocean, I'll be near." The bubble around Finn softly popped as he found himself back on the shore. The waves whispered a soft lullaby, and the moon hung like a silver guardian above the sea. As Finn closed his eyes, his dreams were filled with glowing corals, singing pearls, dancing seahorses, and the soft, magical voice of Lumina. And somewhere beneath the waves, Lumina pulsed softly, a glowing light in the heart of the midnight ocean. Magical ocean quest. In a quiet coastal village, where the sea shimmered like liquid silver under the moonlight, lived a spirited girl named Lyora. She loved nothing more than watching the waves roll in, wondering about the magical world that might exist beneath the surface. Each night, the ocean seemed to call to her, singing lullabies in the language of the tides. One evening, as the sky blushed in hues of violet and indigo, Lyra noticed a soft, glowing ripple on the water. Before her eyes, a sleek and radiant dolphin emerged, its skin glowing faintly like starlight. "Hello, little dreamer." The dolphin spoke in a voice as smooth as the ocean breeze. "I am Starfin. Would you like to explore the hidden wonders of the sea?" Without hesitation, Lyora nodded, her heart thudding with excitement. Starfin flicked his glowing tail, and a shimmering bubble encased Lyora, allowing her to breathe and float effortlessly. The bubble hummed softly, like the distant chime of seashells. They dove beneath the waves, and a dazzling kingdom unfolded. Coral castles in every shade of blue, pink, and gold stretched like an underwater garden. Softly glowing anemones waved their luminescent tendrils, and spirals of bioluminescent plankton floated like tiny stars. "Welcome to the Twilight Reef," Starfin announced. Suddenly, a trio of jellyfish drifted by, their bodies pulsing with soft light. "Who is this, Starfin?" asked the largest, her glowing ribbons trailing like enchanted lace. "This is Lyora, a dreamer from above," Starfin replied. "I'm Glistra," said the jellyfish, twirling gracefully. "Follow us to the crystal caverns." Lyora giggled, drifting alongside Starfin as they followed the glowing jellyfish through a winding path lined with twinkling sea fans. Schools of radiant fish flitted past, their scales casting tiny rainbows with every twist and turn. They soon arrived at a hidden cave, its entrance guarded by a pair of glowing lionfish, whose fins shimmered like liquid gold. "Only those with kind hearts may enter," said one lionfish. Leora placed her hand on her chest, and her bubble glowed softly. The lionfish flicked their tails, and the entrance parted, revealing the crystal caverns. Inside, glowing crystals jutted from the walls and ceiling, casting a rainbow of lights across the water. Little glowing seahorses flitted about, their tails curling around the crystal stems. The water hummed with a soft, enchanting melody. "These crystals hold the dreams of the sea creatures," Starfin explained. "Each one captures a wish whispered into the ocean." As Lyora marveled at the glowing wonder, a tiny glowing crab named Crindle scurried up to her. "Would you like to hear a wish?" he chirped. "Yes, please," Lyora replied. Crindle touched a soft blue crystal, and a delicate voice echoed through the water. A young turtle's wish for a new shell as bright as the sun. Further into the caverns, they found a hidden lagoon called the Luminary Pool. The water glowed with a soft silver light, and glowing bubbles floated to the surface. "These are the dream bubbles," Starfin said. "They hold the wildest dreams of the ocean." Lyora touched one, and a vision of a glowing sea dragon spiraling through the midnight water filled her mind. As they journeyed deeper, they reached the moonlit garden, an underwater meadow where glowing kelp swayed gently and firefly-like shrimp twinkled like stars. A playful, glowing octopus named Ollivander greeted them, his skin shifting colors like a living rainbow. "Care for a dance?" Ollivander asked with a mischievous grin, swirling his tentacles in graceful patterns. Leora laughed, spinning and twirling in her bubble alongside him. Beyond the moonlit garden, they ventured into the Whispering Fathoms, a serene, dimly lit part of the ocean, where glowing eels wove intricate patterns in the sand, and the soft hum of ancient sea songs echoed from the coral walls. There, a majestic manta ray named Silvara glided gracefully, her wings leaving a trail of sparkling dust. "The Whispering Fathoms are where the oldest songs of the sea are kept," Silvara said, her voice deep and calming. "Every ripple carries a story." Lyora listened closely, hearing the soft echoes of forgotten tales, a mermaid's lullaby, a whale's distant call, and the gentle melody of the tides. Finally, Starfin led Lyora to the heart of the ocean, a vast, glowing chamber where a massive ancient sea turtle named Thalassa rested. Her shell gleamed with constellations, each star a glowing memory of the sea. "Welcome, child of the shore," Thalassa spoke with a voice like a gentle tide. "Tonight, the ocean sings, and you are part of its song." The chamber pulsed with a soft, radiant glow, and every magical creature they had met, Glistra, Crindle, Ollivander, Silvara, and more, gathered in harmony. The crystals, bubbles, and glowing sea life shimmered together, weaving a lullaby of the deep. As the night deepened, Starfin gently guided Lyora back to the surface. "Will I see you again?" she asked softly. "Whenever you dream of the ocean, I will be there," Starfin promised. The bubble popped gently as Lyra found herself once more on the sandy shore. The waves whispered softly, and the moon shone like a guardian in the sky. With a heart full of wonder, Lyra closed her eyes. That night, her dreams were a kaleidoscope of glowing caverns, singing bubbles, and the soft, magical voice of Starfin. And somewhere beneath the waves, Starfin flicked his glowing tail, a silver light in the heart of the midnight ocean. Magical, underwater story. In the shimmering kingdom of Coralwyn, far beneath the ocean's surface, there lived a little mermaid named Lyora. She had iridescent fins that sparkled like liquid rainbows and a heart full of curiosity. One evening, as the moonbeams danced through the water, Lyora noticed a soft golden glow drifting through a kelp forest. It wasn't like the usual glowing jellyfish or twinkling sea stars. This light seemed alive, whispering to her best friend, a playful seahorse named Finn. Lyora decided to follow the glowing trail. The glow led them to an ancient shell hidden behind a curtain of seaweed. As Lyora touched the shell, it gently opened, revealing a tiny shimmering pearl no bigger than a pebble. Suddenly, the pearl spoke in a voice as soft as the ocean breeze. "I am the Pearl of Lumina. Long ago, I was created to keep the sea bright and full of magic, but I have lost my way." Determined to help, Lyora and Finn set off on a journey to return the pearl to the heart of the ocean, a magical coral reef where the sea's enchantment was strongest. Along the way, they faced playful dolphins who tried to snatch the glowing pearl, a grumpy octopus guarding a shortcut, and a school of shimmering fish who guided them with their silvery light. As they ventured deeper into the ocean, they met a wise old sea turtle named Elder Marlowe. "The heart of the ocean lies beyond the whispering caves," he told them. "But beware, for the caves are enchanted. Only those with pure intentions may pass." With the pearl's glow lighting their way, Lyora and Finn swam into the dark caves. Strange echoes filled the water, and glowing eyes peeked from cracks in the coral walls. At one point, a sudden current threatened to pull them back, but Lyora held the pearl close and whispered words of kindness, calming the magic of the caves. Deep within the caves, they discovered a hidden lagoon where bioluminescent plants swayed like underwater lanterns. Tiny glowing sea sprites, magical creatures said to guard the ocean's secrets, danced around them, singing in a language of bubbles and light. One sprite, a curious little being named Glimmer, decided to guide them the rest of the way. As they swam, Glimmer sprinkled trails of sparkling sea dust, creating shimmering paths that pulsed softly, lighting their journey. Along the way, they encountered a school of crystal fish, legendary creatures with scales as clear as glass. These fish could reflect the thoughts and dreams of those nearby, and Lyora gasped as she saw visions of her own hopes glowing on their scales, her wish to protect her home and spread kindness through the ocean. Finally, they emerged into a hidden valley of glowing corals and singing anemones, the heart of the ocean. It was more beautiful than Lyora had ever imagined, with every shade of color rippling like liquid rainbows. A circle of ancient towering coral pillars stood at the center, and the sea seemed to hum, a gentle melody. Schools of golden fish created dazzling patterns in the water, and a soft mist of shimmering bubbles floated upward like stars in the night sky. The water itself seemed to pulse with a living magic, each wave carrying a faint, melodic chime. As Lyora placed the Pearl of Lumina onto a coral pedestal, the entire reef shimmered even brighter, sending waves of light rippling through the sea. The ocean creatures, from the tiniest shrimp to the grandest whales, gathered to witness the pearl's return. The magic of the ocean grew stronger, and the kingdom of Coralwyn sparkled like never before. Suddenly, the coral pillars released glowing tendrils of light that spiraled into the water, forming a protective aura around the heart of the ocean. The Pearl of Lumina, now safely home, promised Lyora and Finn that it would always keep the kingdom of Coralwyn glowing. It gifted Lyora a tiny seashell pendant, glowing softly, a reminder that even the smallest acts of bravery and kindness can bring light to the world. The pendant, to Lyora's delight, shimmered with ever-changing colors, responding to the goodness in her heart. As Lyora and Finn swam back home, under a blanket of twinkling water stars, Glimmer waved goodbye, leaving a trail of glowing bubbles behind. Lyora whispered, "No matter how small we are, we can always bring light to the world." And with that, the sea sang them softly to sleep, its magical glow a comforting lullaby for all who called Coralwyn their home.